Hi everyone who is watching. I think you should be aware of the events that are taking place in Belarus right now. At the moment, this country is gripped by mass protests, which are triggered by an unfair election of Alexander Lukashenko. It's all started since the 9 August election 2020, but all these events are still relevant in the country even after almost 5 months. I would like to present you the results of the research I did this week. So, my research question is: what is the attitude of the ordinary Twitter users towards the protest in Belarus 2020? To collect the results, I decided to use Twitter, as it seemed to me that exactly on this platform I could get the most appropriate data to find the answer to my question. To collect the information, I used Analytic. To make my research more accurate, I decided to analyze 2 hashtags at once. First is Живе Belarus, which in translation means Live Belarus. I decided to use exactly this hashtag to find out the opinion of people who are closest to the place of events. The second hashtag is Belarus. I wanted to use it to find out the opinions of foreign people who know about the situation mostly from the news and not from primary sources. I decided to use the following filters. Firstly, I left only Russian and English languages. Secondly, I kept only tweets from accounts that have no more than 1,000 subscribers, since I wanted to know the opinions of ordinary people, not an influencers or news channels. And I decided to keep retweets only, to select all those messages that users circulate the most on Twitter, and I also believe this information is more relevant. After analyzing all the received tweets, I decided to distribute which of them were the personal opinions of users and which were news reposts. The difference is obviously limiting. As you can see, unlike the English language users, most of the people who tagged Живе Belarus relied on personal opinion of other people and did not do a lot of news reposting. Then I decided to make a topic analysis to see what exactly people are discussing on Twitter about the Belarusian crisis. To begin with, I decided to remove from the sample tweets that did not correspond to the topic. Then I also looked at who was mentioned the most on 2 different occasions. It's notable that while English-speaking users in almost equal numbers discussed both Lukashenko and Tikhanovskaya and other news, Russian-speaking users practically did not talk about a particular character. Now let's talk about specific topics. Here on the slide, the topics that were discussed on the Russian language Twitter. The most discussed were the protest demonstrations, as well as words of support to people from Belarus. And this slide shows you English-speaking Twitter topics. Once again, we can see the topics related to the protest and words of support to Belarusians, but the main news of this week is the invitation of Svetlana Tikhanovskaya to the inauguration of the US president. And I also decided to do some kind of critical discourse analysis on the content. I have divided all tweets according to some features which you may see on the screen. Well, there is a noticeable difference again, but the common thing between Russian language and English language Twitter is that there are really few users who remain neutral about the situation, and even fewer of them who do not support the oppositional movement in Belarus. The absolute majority of users are either opposed to Lukashenko or show friendly support to the people from Belarus. For our content analysis, we understood that there is some difference between opinions under the Russian and English hashtags, which are connected to the political crisis in Belarus. For the most part, the Russian language Twitter discusses the inhuman actions of the Belarusian authorities and support the people in general. Under the Russian hashtag, there are very few who discuss the news or specific characters on the conflict. The priority mood under the hashtag is absolutely discussed to Lukashenko. The data of English language Twitter is different. In general, people repost the official news, and the number and variety of topics discussed was significantly greater. I can assume that this difference is directly related to the closeness to the events. English-speaking users only know about the problem from the news, while the majority of Russian-speaking users are either directly in the center of the events or hear about them from their Belarusian friends or family members. Foreigners are aware of the problem, but they are fixed on discussing specific characters in the conflict and not so much on the personal stories on Belarusian citizens. Nevertheless, it's absolutely certain that all the people who discuss the crisis in Belarus on Twitter are mainly supporting the local residents who are against the current government. Basically, the position of users with regards to Lukashenko can be defined as negative or even negatively aggressive. Almost no one who discusses this topic is neutral about the issue. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.